Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. Ironheart's first 3 episodes aren't just a bold opening to Marvel's latest series, they're a statement. The show dives deep into Riri Williams' journey, and instead of giving us a paint-by-numbers hero origin story, it drags her through the messy, murky, morally grey corners of the MCU, challenging everything fans may have expected from Tony Stark's spiritual successor. And let's be real, how many of us were really expecting this much depth from a series we initially thought would just be Marvel's next tech genius spin-off? We've seen Riri before in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and while Dominique Thorne did great in that role, it didn't quite scream, this character needs her own show. But now, Ironheart proves that not only does Riri deserve her own space, her journey might be one of the most complex and narratively daring stories Marvel has told in a while. And yes, that twist at the end of episode 3? That changes everything. Marvel fans are used to feeling the shadow of Iron Man looming over the MCU, but this show treats it with intentionality. No, Robert Downey Jr. isn't in these episodes, but Iron Man's legacy is everywhere, especially in how Riri's character is written. She's driven, genius-level smart, stubborn as hell, and trying to honor Stark's legacy while doing things her way. She's not just Iron Man 2.0, she's Ironheart, with all the weight and complications that title brings. What makes this series land harder than expected is that it doesn't play safe. Riri's world is harsh, and her journey back home to Chicago after getting expelled from MIT feels grounded and raw. The criminal underworld she's pulled into, led by Parker Robbins, aka the Hood, is terrifying in a very human way. Anthony Ramos plays Parker with such charm that it's easy to forget he literally traps Riri in an elevator like some MCU version of Jigsaw. This guy convinces her to work for him, and sure, she does it for the money to keep building her suits, but we already know, it's going to blow up in her face. And then there's Joe. Or should we say, Zeke Stane. If you suspected he wasn't who he claimed to be, you were right on the money. Alden Ehrenreich's debut as Obadiah Stane's son is chef's kiss casting. His introduction is smooth, funny, and instantly likable, and the dynamic between Joe and Riri just clicks. Their scenes have this chaotic chemistry, which makes the twist about his identity hit even harder. The fact that Zeke, unlike his father, wants to help people, and not blow them up for profit, is refreshing. He's not trying to be the next ironmonger. He's trying to steer the legacy of tech in a better direction, even if it means operating in the grey areas. But let's talk about that final scene in episode 3. Riri makes a brutal call. She lets someone die. John, the cousin of the Hood, is suffocating, and she just watches it happen. It's a gut punch. She does it to protect herself, to stop Parker from knowing she turned against them. But it's not the kind of choice MCU heroes usually make. It's the kind of choice that forces you to ask, is she still a hero? Or is she something else now? The shadow cast by Iron Man looms even heavier here because, let's be honest, even Tony made his fair share of morally questionable choices, but this feels darker. This feels like the kind of thing that sticks. And we haven't even touched on Natalie, the AI modeled after Riri's dead sister. That emotional core is slowly being built, and it might just become the anchor for the rest of the series. Their growing bond is where the show finds its heart, and you can already tell it's going to hurt when that AI becomes more self-aware or gets entangled in whatever supernatural tech conflict is heading Riri's way. So here we are, 3 episodes in, and Ironheart has already given us a morally grey protagonist. A villain who isn't fully a villain, a dead sister AI who might be the emotional center of the whole story, and a second-gen Stane hiding behind a likable smile. If this is how we're starting, the second half of the season is bound to break some serious ground. Now I've got to ask, did you see that twist with Zeke coming? And what did you think about Riri's choice at the end of episode 3? Was it justified? Or has she already crossed a line she can't come back from? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's break it all down.